this last webinar of our Safety Week. Today we are joined by our supplier Brady, and the title of this session is Lockout, Tagout Saves Lives. Before we begin, I would like to briefly introduce myself. My name is Tina Jüling, and I'm a commercial communication specialist at Fisher Scientific. This webinar is part of a series of 5 webinars organized for the Environment, Health and Safety Week. These sessions are designed to raise safety awareness and help you better understand how to protect yourself and your work environment at Thermo Fisher Scientific. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and the recording will be shared with you after the session. And now I would like to hand over to my colleague Isabel, who will explain how the Q&A session will work.
Thanks, Tina. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to today's webinar. My name is Isabel, and I will guide you through the Q&A session after the presentation. You are welcome to ask any questions at any time during the webinar. To do so, simply type your questions in the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen, and our expert will do their best to answer your questions during the Q&A session at the end. And now, hand over to you again, Tina.
Thank you, Isabel. So I think we are now ready to start with the webinar. Today we are joined by Michel Jochems from Brady. Michel is already 16 years with Brady. He started in 2009 with a local sales role, moved into a Benelux role, and served channel partners in Belgium and the Netherlands. From 2022, he is responsible for 8 channels partners across Europe, within different markets like healthcare, MRO, electronics, and online partners. And now I will hand over to you, Michel. I wish you all an interesting and informative webinar.
Thank you very much. And I will share my screen so I can start sharing the presentation. And I hope you can see my screen. And we can start the webinar about Lockout Tagout. And Lockout Tagout is enable safer machine interventions. And I will just introduce. I've did the introduction of myself already, and have been introduced by myself. What I will do, I will tell a little story about Brady, so you know who we are and what we do, and later on about Lockout Tagout. As Brady, we have a mission statement to identify and protect people, products, and premises, and that's what you will see in our product overview, which I will show you later. And our products, we do have a product line, safety and facility identification, which includes safety signs for on your working environment in self-adhesive and hard tags, area marking like floor marking, pipe marking for industrial signing on your pipes. Next to that, we have Lockout Tagout, where we will do the webinar about and to tell you more about during this webinar. We have spill control. When you're using Lockout Tagout and do your maintenance, you could probably have some spills. And we also supply spill control. And we have the visual tagging to ensure you have a safe usage of your premises. Next to that, we have cable and wire identification. It's for the electrical department, panel builders, and the electricians. And product identification, where you can have security labels, high performance labels for the different environments, but also printed circuit board labels. For all those products, we have our printers in our assortment for the product identification, for the safety identification, to print your own safety and facility identification labels and pipe markers, but also for smaller labels and smaller amounts, we have our portable printers, so you can print on site in your environment. Yeah, and we also have an RFID smart labeling product. It's something what is questioned about a lot lately to make your work a little bit easier, save time. And if you would be interested in that, we have some specialists in house who can tell you everything about that. Just some facts and figures about Brady. Our headquarters are based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in the US. Our EMEA headquarters are based in Zeelen in Belgium. That's the office where I'm working for. And recently we moved into a total new facility where we brought back our warehouse production and offices back together again. Across the world, we have between 5 and 6,000 employees. Yeah, depends on the economical environment we have in the world. We have 675 plus patents in our product portfolio, and we're New York Stock Exchange based since 1999. Maybe also important to say we have a lot of experience while we are founded in 1914. Within Brady, we have endless opportunities, but also different brands which you might see into the market and also will recognize. As Brady, we also have the brand C10, which is a Brady company, Transpose for seals for transport and safety. SPC is our assortment products company, the spill control in our assortment. Skeftek is a visual tagging company we have. CodeCorp is our scanners, and this has been bought and acquired 3 years ago. Nordic ID is for our RFID solutions. Nordic ID is handling the consumer markets, and Brady is handling the industrial markets. PDCs like the wristbands and lanyards you can find during festivals, but also in the hospitals, the wristbands. A Magic Card is the rigid cards, like a credit card, and where we have the printers for, where you can print your own cards with, same as the cards you will get in a hotel or by an entrance of a company. Also, we acquired last year Gravotech, and what you see is that Brady wants to have all identification solutions in-house. So also the engraving possibilities. Now we will start about Lockout Tagout, the implementation of Lockout Tagout. Yeah, what is Lockout Tagout? It's a safety procedure for machine maintenance. So when you do your maintenance or repairs on your machine, it's important to use Lockout Tagout because you need to work in a safe environment. It will temporarily isolate all energy sources, and that's where we will come back on later on. And it's all about personal safety. And that's the most important part. You work on the machines and you need to take care of your personal safety. If you don't lock a machine or a valve or a hand wheel or whatever, it can cause some injuries. And that's what we would like to provide with Lockout Tagout and make sure you work in a safe environment. Yeah, the benefits of Lockout Tagout, already mentioned, it will save lives. It prevents incidents, injuries, and fatalities. It's increasing also the efficiency. Your downtime will be reduced while the machine is already locked, so you don't need to check again if you have been going to the warehouse, get some stuff for your machine to repair, and come back. You are still sure that your machine is locked and you can work safely at the machine or the other stuff. In that case, it will also reduce your costs, to reduce the employee time loss. What I already mentioned, by coming back to your machine, you are sure that you can work safely. And it can also reduce insurance costs and potential fines when you are having an injury. There will be some governments that we will check your facility and see, okay, what has been done to make sure that people can work in a safe environment. So the most important thing is saving lives, because on a daily basis, still we have some deadly incidents, and that's not what we want, and therefore use Lockout Tagout. Yeah, the benefits of Lockout Tagout, it prevents incidents, injuries, and fatal accidents. And the fatal accidents is the most thing what we would like to highlight. We would like to avoid that. Increase efficiency and reduce the unplanned downtime generated by workplace accidents. If you have an accident, you cannot do your maintenance, and it needs to be done on a later time. So your machine will not work, your production will go down, and it increase your cost for that. Yeah, and also meeting regulatory requirements. We have some international standards, we have some relevant laws and industry regulations. Now, for all of that, we have our engineers employed who can help you with that, and we can make sure you will work with Lockout Tagout according those requirements. But the main thing is a lockout tagout tryout. The term LOTO is commonly used in the market. And what is that? Lockout is to lock out your ball valve, your gate valve, or electricity with some tools and a padlock. Next to that is tagout. Tagout is informing the other employees about, okay, who is working on the machine, what is the time we need for the maintenance, and when will it go live again, and also who is working on that machine. So if you have a question or whatever, you can always contact the person who is related to that lockout. And the other thing is tryout, and that's where the second toe is coming from, to check if you have done your lockout in a proper way, and if the energy is out of your machine. And it can be power, but can be steam or whatever. It needs to be checked, and there is no pressure on the machine anymore or energy sources left in the machine. And that's a triad. So need to check again if you can restart the machine. If that cannot be done, you have done your lockout in a proper way. We have 6 steps to implement lockout tagout. Step 1 is to create a lockout tagout policy. Step 2, write machine specific instructions. Step 3, identify the isolation points, and we will come back on that later. Training is very important. Provide proper lockout tagout tools and sustain the lockout tagout program. So we will go a little bit deeper on the different steps. And step 1 is create a lockout tagout policy. If you have no lockout tagout policy, it needs to be created, because you need to know how the company wants to work with lockout tagout. What do you need to do within circumstances, and how do we want to work? In which different steps would we like to implement the lockout tagout? And that's what you can provide in a policy. And if a policy is there, then you can go further on and write machine-specific instructions. That's also where our engineers come in place, where they can train the customer to use our Link 360 software, or help them by creating all the machine-specific instructions. And we go a little bit deeper into the machine-specific instruction. This is kind of lockout tagout procedure. We make it visual, so everybody can work on the machine. You don't need to know the specific details of the machine, but every single step, and this is Dutch version, but every single step has been written out. So you need to lock down the energy source electrical. Where's the location, the method you need to use. So which kind of lockout tool you need to use. So here's a padlock and a closing hasp. And the next one is the tryout. Try to restart from the panel. Now, and with the pictures, you make it visible where the device can be found and where you can lock it down. So it's the same for the steam and also for the pneumatical device, where it is located at the machine, and make it visible. So for everybody, it is clear You don't need to have any knowledge of the machine, but you know where to find it and how you can shut it down. You can also mention which kind of building it is, what the location is, and what kind of machine or whatever it is. You've got the different lockout points, and are the different lockout points also situated. When is it made, and when does it need to be reviewed in the procedure? So step 3 is you've made machine-specific instructions, but you need to identify also the energy isolation points. So you already saw that in the pictures on the machine-specific introductions, and you can do that for every single part. So like the valves, the hand wheels, and next to that, step 4 is very important to train the employees within the Lockout Tagout program. That's also what we provide with our engineers. They can do the training specific for the customer and support them in how to work with the Lockout Tagout tools. First theoretical, next to that we go into the factory and show them how to use the Lockout Tagout tools in the factory. For that, you also need to choose the right Lockout Tagout tools for the ball valves, and I just show you some solutions. We have many different solutions for the different valves, and we also try to say, okay, use as less tools for as much valves or whatever you need to lock down to make it easy for the employees to use Lockout Tagout. So this could be a solution. You see it here placed on the machine with a padlock and a tag. So you have the tool, the padlock, and the tag, how to inform the employees. For gate valves, we have the same. We have the different tools for that. This is an example for that, and this is how it works in practical environment. So you put it around, put your padlock around, and put your tag around it. And with this tool, you cannot handle the gate valve anymore, so it's safe to work on the machine. Next to that, you have the electrical lockout. Is also a very important part of the Lockout Tagout. For instance, to lock down the switches, you put a device on the switch, put a padlock in it, and you cannot handle the switch anymore. And it's the same with this device. Next step is to choose the right solution for the padlocks. So what would you like to do? Would you like to use a key different, which is the most safe solution? So every person has a different key with a different lock with a different key. So they cannot open the padlocks of anybody else. You can also work with key alike, most common use in technical departments where people need to have some personal padlocks. So they can have 3, 4, 5, 6 personal padlocks, and we can provide them with one key. So it makes it easier to use for them just to use one key for their personal padlock. Also, within the department, all the people can have personal padlocks, but then compared to each other, they will be key different. So the personal padlock is keyed alike, and but you cannot open the padlock of your colleague. So you have your personal safety secured by your padlock. Now within departments, you can also use a master key, so you can open the different padlocks if you would like with a master key. It's not most common used, but we have the possibility to adjust our padlocks to use a master key. And also, if you want to open with one key. The different groups where you have a master key, we have also a grandmaster key, so you can open all the different groups. This is the most important part of a Lockout Tagout program, and this will take probably most of your time to design it. Just to think about how you would like to work with your padlocks, and that's something where we can definitely support you in. So we can be on site, think about it, and create together with you the Lockout Tagout and the padlock plan. We have safety padlocks. Safety padlock is the shackle cannot be closed when or the key cannot taken out of the padlock when the shackle is not closed. So, and here we have also the key combined with the color of the padlock. So it's also very well recognizable to use which key with which padlock. So you, with an orange key, you will never go to a red padlock or a green padlock just to open it. So you know which kind of padlock you need to open, and it's still your personal padlock. Here we have with a nylon shackle for electrical lockout. We have also with our steel shackle for the mechanical lockout, and we have them all with different shackle heights also if you need different shackles. We have them in different colors, and this is just a part of our assortment. We have much more key padlock solutions, but this is just an overview, just to show you, okay, there are possibilities, and we can help you to create a padlock plan with the padlock which suits in your environment. Also, for the use of Lockout Tagout, visual management is very well known, and also shadow boards for the use of Lockout Tagout. It's well organized. You can see all the padlocks which can be used for a certain lockout, and all the devices you can use. You have the padlocks with you on the board, the tags on the board, the lockbox there. The closing hasps, another tool, and also the safety instructions can be placed on the board so people can use and read them how to work with the devices. And also another example from the other angle taking. If you have an engraving on the padlock, like a number or a name or whatever, we can also place them on the shadow board. So when you take away the padlock, it is visible which padlock needs to be placed back again. And it's also visible which padlock is still in use and which number is missing. And that can also be placed here with the machine instructions. Okay, what is in place and what is used. So what is still working. Yeah, sustain the Lockout Tagout program. We advise to review it on a yearly basis and take a look at your program. Machine can be changed, procedure can be changed. Just review it on a yearly basis, and that can also be planned in the software we use to have your assessments planned during the year. We have our engineers, we have our safety services. So the engineers can come on site and work with software. They can train you to work with the software. They can use the software and make sure that everything will be done by the software. And we can print those things. We will provide them digitally if you would like to print them out or would like to have, for instance, a QR code on your machine where people can scan and they can have the most recent instruction visual on their tablet or on their phone, but just scanning the QR code. That's all possibilities which we can provide as an additional service. What we can do is a Lockout Tagout discovery on site. So one of our engineers will come on site, will do an an alignment with the stakeholders and say, okay, what is your plan? What would you like to do? We do a hands-on site visit. So we will go to a machine and see how many instructions would need to be written by our safety engineers. And afterwards, you will get a detailed personalized lockout offer. And if we need to go on site for more days, this is a price for 1 day with a detailed personalized lockout offer. Next to that, it's important what I already mentioned is training, and training can also be provided by our engineers, especially written to your personal training program and your environment. It's just not a general training. Of course, there is general training, but we can personalize it for you as a company. So we're now by the end of our presentation. So we're in time, and I think there are some questions in the chat. And Tina, I think you can share them with us.
Yeah, Michel, you are correct. We have few questions. So let's start with the first one. And it is, can you support implementing a LOTO program from the start?
Yes, as already mentioned, we have our technical engineers who can come on site, write together with you a lot of procedure, and that should be to start, and then move forward with the total lockout tagout program. So yes, we can support you from the start of the lockout tagout program. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Second question is, can you help with creating a plan for padlocks? Kit different, kit alike, master kit, etc.
Yeah, I think the question was already answered during the presentation. We can create a padlock plan, and we can come on site, discuss it, and find out what the best solution can be to use the kind of padlocks like key different, key alike, or master key. And that's depending on the different situation and the different requirements the customers have. Yeah.
Okay, fine. And we have another question. Do you have local support across Europe?
Yes, in every European country, we have our local support in your local language, so we can support on site with local engineers. We have about 12 or 14 engineers who speak multiple languages and can support across Europe. And also our sales crew is located all across Europe. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. We have also positive feedback for your presentation, came from David. And it says, hi, Michael, thank you so much for a highly informative session. I've learned about the importance of lockout, tagout concept personally in a close call while I was performing some basic electrical repairs on an electrical appliance at home. I can therefore imagine how important and impactful this concept can be in terms of protecting people in an industrial and production environment. What about, to your opinion, be the first step for our PSG colleagues that are involved with high energy appliance and their maintenance if they will want to improve the safety and their working environment?
Yeah, the best step should be to get in contact with the colleagues to see what their current procedure would be, and that's also a part of our program to see what a gap analysis could be. Okay, what are you doing right now, and what could be the solution to work more safely, or how can we improve your safety on site? So that's definitely something we can discuss on site. See what you are doing right now, and are you following the right steps? and are you using the right tools to make sure that you can work in a safe environment? Are you following the lockout, tagout, and the tryout? And most common is that people are not doing the tryout, and that's where yeah, unsafe situations will appear, and we can definitely help them with that, and also to write the machine instructions to follow which steps you need to take to work in a safe environment.
Great, thank you. Puni also says, thank you, Michael, for a very informative session. And I think that's all. We don't have any more questions. So I think we can conclude the Q&A session and hand over to you, Tina.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for this really interesting webinar. I learned a lot, and a special thank you to you, Michel, for taking the time to join us and for generously sharing your expertise. That was an excellent session, and I'm sure our audience truly appreciated it as well. So with that, our safety week has come to an end. It has been a fantastic series of sessions, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. I wish you a wonderful afternoon and a relaxing weekend. Goodbye for now.
Okay, thank you very much also.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.